What's up, guys? Welcome back to Tractor City. I'm Ashton Pierce. Today I've got the LS MT-226. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do a quick video on just the maintenance you would do before you go use the tractor, or every 8 to 10 hours. I recommend doing this every time you go to use the tractor before you do any job, right? First thing I wanna do is check the hydraulic or powertrain fluid. That's gonna be on the back of the tractor. They like to paint everything white for you. This guy right here is painted white. It's got a gauge on it, so you can pull it out, and this is gonna be for your hydraulic fluid. So you wanna make sure it's in between those lines there. Hydraulic or powertrain fluid. And then the other cap next to it is gonna be your fill point. So that's how you check your hydraulic fluid, and also if you need to add some. Do make a note, you wanna make sure your loader's on the ground like this, because if it's in the air, these hydraulic rams will be filled with that powertrain fluid or that hydraulic fluid, and your levels are gonna be off. So just make sure your loader's on the ground, okay? Quick note for that. Jump into the oil. We're gonna go on the other side. So right here next to the oil filter, you'll see this pull stick right here, and they also got painted white on top. Same deal, you'll pull that out. Make sure it's in the correct spot. And it wants in between that, below that groove, right? Okay, and then if you need to add oil, we need to pop the hood for that one. And you'll notice right here, you have to come by me, but there's this black cap right here, and they got a little white mark on it. That's gonna be your fill point. So if you need to add oil, you're gonna fill it there, okay? We did hydraulic fluid, we did the oil. Now jump into the fuel. All you need to do here is make sure that this fuel filter is clean. So if it looks like the fuel that you have in the tractor, everything's gonna be good. If you see any debris or dirt in there, you wanna change that. And then also it has a drain for the excess water that fills up from there. So same deal, you wanna dump this once this thing reaches its fill mark. So dirty filter, make sure you change that. If your water is too high, you wanna make sure you dump the water out as well. Since we're down here, I'm gonna explain the axle as well. We're on the opposite side of the fill point, but if you notice this blue cap here for the axle, there's gear oil in here, and this is your breather cap. So this side is made, in other words, there's a hole in it, or breather in it, in a sense, so when it heats up, this can expand the air inside without ruining any seals on your axle. On the other side, which we're gonna go check out right now, is gonna be your fill point, and there's also gonna be a gauge on it, just like the oil and hydraulic fluid. So you have to take this guy off. It got painted white for you as well, but you'll take this guy off, and there's gonna be a little gauge in that for you as well. Common sense in a way, but make sure obviously the tractor is level before you check this, because you want the levels to be correct, right? If it's angled, it's not gonna be right. We got the hood open, so we're gonna jump to the radiator. Let me go on the other side. You also wanna make sure your radiator's got correct amount of fluid in it. If you follow this line down, it's gonna go over to your overflow. And you might need to come on this side, Jimmy, to see this. There's a high and low here, so it shows you where the fluid should be. So you wanna make sure that's correct as well. So there's all our fluids. Since we're underneath the hood, I'm gonna jump right to the radiator screen. This is kind of, they call it a quick screen, because when you're out doing your job out in the field, usually if the tractor's overheating, it's because you got grass or dirt in here, and it happens quite a bit because you're working in fields. But they have it where you can pull it and slide it straight out to the side. Oops, I got another knob over here on this side. Oh, it looks like they made it so you can slide it both ways. Which I didn't even notice this before. The older models, you could only slide it out the one side, so that's kind of cool. But anyways, you slide it out, and then you could clean this screen out and go right back to work. Since we're doing a quick maintenance, we're probably at the shop doing this, you wanna clean this out, and also you wanna blow the radiator out. So come from the back side and blow that out. Make sure there's no dirt and grass inside there as well, okay? And then going from the radiator screen, we're gonna talk about the air filter. And that's right in front of you guys right there. That's gonna be this big cylinder right there. And the air filter, that's your main breathing source, right? So if you're overheating, this is gonna be your second spot. You look. This guy slides right out, so it should be white. That's a brand new clean one. If it's a little brown, you got a little bit of dirt in there, you could blow it out from the inside out, and clean it out and reuse it. Obviously it starts getting black, I recommend changing that. Okay, so there's the main air filter. Right below the air filter, we're gonna go right to the battery. You gotta have good connection on your battery, right? So you wanna make sure this is nice and clean. If there's a bunch of gunk and dirt and stuff in there, you wanna pull this out and clean it up. So you got great connection for your battery. All right, so we went through the fluids. We went through our air, our electrical connection. Last but not least, you're gonna look at the grease points. If you just look at this loader itself, you can see right away, there's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right here in front of us, right? You wanna make sure you get most likely a battery powered one because it's gonna be a lot faster for you, but essentially what you're doing is, once you pump the grease in this grease nipple, it's gonna push out the goop or the grease right here. When you see the grease come out, you're good to go. That means you're not gonna have the metal on metal friction. Why do we need this? Well, if it's metal on metal, it's gonna start wearing it out, right? And eventually gonna start warping it. And then you're gonna have, you could have all sorts of problems. So that's gonna be your basic stuff. You wanna do that every 8 to 10 hours, or my recommendation, I check these things before I use the tractor every time. So yesterday I did a job, I go out there this morning to do the next job, I'm gonna check all this stuff I just showed you. It's really fast. I just did it in the video under 10 minutes. So when you're not making a video, you're gonna be really fast. Make sure everything's good to go before you use it so you don't have any big problems. Once again, this is your LS MT-226.